Hi, friend.
Hi, friend. Are you ready
Ready for what?
to level up?
Okay, girl, let's get started.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Level Up with Raman and Alysha.
Hi, everybody. So, welcome to Brown Girl Month, and we got some spicy spice for you all today. You get to hear me and Raman debate over, are you for an arranged marriage?
Or are you against an arranged marriage? As we all know, in our culture, in the South Indian culture, arranged marriages are pretty common. And I think it depends on like what somebody's definition of an arranged marriage is. I think when a lot of people hear about arranged marriage, they sort of think about like, India and like the like olden age where, you would literally like some of the stories I hear is like, you meet your partner on the day of your wedding, right? I think my dad met my mom on the day of the wedding. He was like, my sister went to go see her and she said she was nice. So I'm like, okay, and you just trusted her like that? Like, were you even close with your sister? But back then they had those bonds where you
Yeah.
like trusted your parents or your sibling, and you just kind of had this like blind trust, and you would literally meet the person that you're about to marry on the wedding day. But I have to admit, like, that's not really how I see arranged marriage now. Well, actually, some people consider this arranged marriage, but I don't really consider this arranged marriage is when you just kind of use your parents as help to find
Meet
somebody
people.
and meet people. And I don't consider that arranged marriage, It's just, I just find that kind of like how Tinder helps you, your parents help you do a match, just like Seema auntie from Mumbai.
I don't know. Okay, so yeah, I agree with you on all those levels. But are you for it?
Listen, I don't want to say like I'm okay, you know what? I'm not against it. And I don't
Oh,
know if that means I'm for it, but I'm not against it. I have some I have seen people do arranged marriages that have been very successful. Even some in our generation, like my brother's friend that my brother was just saying that my dad got him married. And I remember being like, Sony, what if she's a psychopath? Like, what do you really know about her? And he was just like, I don't know, uncle talked to her. I talked to her like once and she seems nice. And I
oh,
was like, but me growing up here, I was like, what do you mean? Like,
yeah.
everybody's nice in the first conversation. Like, what if, stop this.
Okay.
Sorry, guys, I had to yell at her. What if, she's a psychopath? And honestly, like, after many years and after they have their beautiful daughter, like, they're in a happily wedded marriage. And I've seen other people like that.
So they wait. You said after many years.
Like, they've been married for so many years. I
Okay.
mean, like, they've been married for so many years. They have a daughter. They're still happy. They have a home. And, there's no, like,
Yeah.
type of like negativity or anything in sight. They're very happy that they found each other. And yeah, in terms like that, like I am for arranged marriage and similar situations like that. I have seen other situations that have led to happy, successful marriages.
Okay. I agree with you. So I'm not against arranged marriages either. I do think it's very difficult in the dating field. It's so hard to find someone, especially those that want someone from the same community, the same caste, the same culture, the same, even like dialogue. Because in
Yeah.
India, the dialogue is so different in different Punjab cities and whatever,
Yeah, it's
right?
so weird.
Yeah. So you want some sort of like familiarity.
Familiarity.
Yeah. For with the person you're gonna marry.
Yeah.
So in my case, I thought about it. Like, I don't know how old I was, but I didn't really need to think about it. But I thought about it. I was like, oh, if my parents had to find me a guy, who do I trust more than Rosie and Sunny? I'm like, nobody.
Sounds like Bonnie and Clyde.
Right? Because my mother would make sure financially he's secure and
Yeah.
more. She would also make sure he's handsome and dressed well.
Yeah.
And then my father would make sure he's a good man and probably read his hand. So he would know all his bullshit. And I was like, I would trust them more than anybody, than myself sometimes, because I've made dumb decisions. I've dated idiots. And, like they would talk me through those dates and
That's
those
so funny.
dating, right? So I would probably trust my parents, but I think you need to know your parents as well. Do your parents really know you, or do they know the version you only are at home and not the real version of yourself that you are with your friends?
Yes.
So that's another huge thing too, right? If you're just like a different person at home,
Yeah.
then how can they really help you?
Yeah.
Because that's not
100%.
really your interest or anything like that. So I think, yeah, you can trust your parents if you are being true to yourself.
Which most of the time, if you grow up in like a situation where I feel like if you're being put in a situation of an arranged marriage, you most likely are not in a place where you are able to be your 100% self. And yeah, they only see the one version of you, and it's the version that you want them to see. And there's just so many, so many things that they do not know. Um, Stop this.
I'm not even bothering you.
Alysha's bothering me, guys. There's so many different versions, and definitely I feel like your truest self, or at least my truest self, my parents have not seen. But
Are you sure? After today, I think they did.
No. Oh, maybe the day like I got really drunk in front of my mom. Yeah, maybe that day.
Wait, what?
Don't you know when I was really drunk in front of my mom? And I like blacked out. Yeah. I got yelled at like crazy the next day.
I need to know the story after.
Oh my God, how do you not know? Oh, she yelled at me so much the next day. So much. Probably traumatized my
And
mother.
what did you say?
And you know what's funny? She thinks it was the first time I ever drank.
Okay, when was this though?
During Karen's wedding. It was like on her Mendy night.
This was last year. Oh yeah, you told me this. You told me this. I remember.
Okay, here's the thing that really annoyed me when it came to like arranged marriage. One, when people think of arranged marriage, they are still they're still thinking of like the old age story of like you meet the person on the day of the wedding and stuff. But no, that's not how
This
really
is how I see it. I see a Junia, and the guy and the girl are sitting there, and they say Kabul, Kabul.
What the fuck?
Junie comes down. You know from Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum?
Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum. Is that how it happened?
Yeah, Bando.
Oh yeah, when the sister got married.
and they say
Okay, well that
Kabul,
is not
Kabul.
how every wedding is.
Yeah, but that's how I envision the arranged marriage.
Okay, this is how Alysha envisions the arranged marriage. This is how I envision it. This is how I envision the term arranged marriage in 2021. So, I consider it our parents helping us find somebody. Obviously, parents have like a big community of people, friends, stuff like that. So, they want to hook up their kids with so-and-so's kids. They introduce you to somebody, you get a chance to talk to them, and you decide like, do you want to be with them, do you want to pursue this, you go on a date and stuff like that. So I don't consider it like, okay, my parents are forcing me to be with this person and I have to be with this person. I just think it's like they help you find somebody, which I think is totally okay, and I'm absolutely for that. I know a lot of people are like, okay, don't want to get my parents' help, and honestly, I was like that for a very long time. I remember the first time I even entertained my dad on letting him introduce me to somebody.
This was like,
I don't know, it was a really long time ago.
It was.
And it was so funny. I like came home, I think I was like tipsy, so I like entertained the conversation. And then he was so excited because he was like, oh, my daughter said yes. But low key, I was just saying no before because I was dating somebody else.
Yeah.
That he did not know about. And obviously the conversation like went nowhere. It was stupid. I think the guy's like mother was sitting beside him. It was really weird. And then I saw the guy on Tinder, so that was jokes. But
what do you mean the mother was sitting while you were
talking? The way
talking?
he was like typing, I swear it was like he was sitting beside his mother and they were deciding together like what he was going to say.
Hi.
It was just so weird. I don't know. And I just felt like I was not having a natural conversation with this guy. So yeah, that part's kind of annoying. It's like, but there are parents who won't try to get involved in like,
yeah, it's true,
what's going on with them.
Yeah, so I totally agree with you on that, because like the thing is, it can be a little complicated too. But then this is what we've been saying, like, in all the podcasts. Our parents have told us our entire life, stay away from boys. Don't talk to boys. But then you hit 20, and you're like, where's the munda?
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me pull him out of my pocket.
Yeah, because I told him, just wait 5 years. We'll be in touch. Like, what? So I think that's the other problem.
Yeah.
So I think, as our generations, like, I was always freaking told. I feel like I'm a complete opposite. Like...
Yeah, this is perfect because you and I do have like day and night experiences.
But my parents are arranged.
Yeah, your parents' story is like the best story.
Yeah. And if you haven't listened to it, go listen to Rosie's podcast. But basically, my parents said to me, you can't date till you get into university or college. Mm-hmm. But let's be honest, I went to prom with somebody and they knew. So whatever. Yeah. But they didn't say don't talk to boys. I had lots of guy friends growing up.
Yeah.
I had more guy friends than girlfriends at one point.
Yeah.
My parents were all very supportive of it. I used to sit on my porch with one of them till 2 a.m. just talking. They didn't care. And I was like 15, 16. So my parents were cool like that in that sense. And no, I didn't have to tell them that they were not like straight. But my
Did that ever work for anybody?
I don't think so. But my thing was, at the end of the day, is that, okay, it is so hard to even figure out what the hell to find in a partner.
Mm-hmm.
So here you are, you're like, okay, I've always been told he should be tall and handsome, have a good job, and that's good enough.
Yeah. But, like, what about the other things?
Yeah, what about all the other qualities that meet your needs?
Yeah.
What if he's a shitty kisser?
Yeah.
What if he doesn't show you any emotion or hug you?
Yeah.
So he might be an outstanding person in the community, but then where does that relationship aspect come from?
Yeah.
So one thing about arranged marriages, I think the other thing is you kind of have no choice but to figure that out together.
Yeah.
And that's an exciting path. But you both have to be willing to be open-minded.
Yeah.
And if you're not, then that's an issue.
That can go kind of either way.
If you're the shy dulhan, it ain't gonna work.
Yeah. And I feel bad when things don't work out. I feel like people end up blaming their parents for putting them in those situations. And I think that's why some people have like a negative outlook on arranged marriages, because they're looking at like the relationships that failed versus the ones that succeeded.
I guess. But you agreed to do the arranged.
Like I said, when I hear arranged, I don't consider arranged like how my parents were arranged marriage. I consider it like, getting your parents' help.
Then how can you blame your parents when you're getting their help?
I guess, but people, you get resentment, and especially if the parents didn't allow somebody to marry who they wanted to marry. Okay, one thing that absolutely I heard that pissed me off when it whole came to like want us to introduce you to somebody, or like, let us help you, blah 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 blah. The sentence that I heard very often was, he has a good family. And I'd be like, okay, cool, but how is he? Right? And they had nothing to say. They're like, yeah, but he comes from a good family. Okay, yeah, but again, how is he? Like, I know a lot of people that are fucked up and have amazing parents, and then we feel bad for their parents because we're like, why are you so fucked up? Or like, people who are really good and they might not have the best parents, right? And I was giving him an example of somebody, right? I'm like, look at this person, like they have shitty ass parents, but this person is good and they're like happily married, or blah blah blah. So I was trying to explain to my parents one day, I was like, if you keep judging people by the way their families are, like it's not always gonna be helpful. I'm like, if people only judged me based on you and mom, like how would you feel? Right?
It's true.
Because people have their own perspective. They might be like, oh, well, they're not rich enough, or they're not this enough, they're not this enough. And I'm like, and just like that, like you don't want to think that, okay, the guy is either good or either bad just because of the way their families are. And we hear this a lot, right? Like, oh, well, you're marrying into the family, like in the Indian culture.
But yet we don't hear that in any other culture. It's always the opposite. You're not marrying the family.
Yes. But in the Indian culture, it's like you're marrying the family, you marry the guy, you're marrying the family. So it's also very important that, you get along with the family and stuff like that. And remember, oh no, do you know about that chick that I found on Instagram that was shit-talking her mother-in-law? Did I tell you about that? Okay, there was this girl on Instagram, and she's like very scandalous. She has like tattoos, she has like blue hair. So she was going through a separation or something, and she was very vocal about it. She's Punjabi.
Okay.
Very
our age or older?
I think I'm gonna say around our age.
Okay.
Very vocal about her separation and blah blah blah. And I go stalk her whole life, basically.
I want to stalk her.
I stalked her whole life. I went back to her like stories highlights from like years ago. And literally all she's doing is like talking shit about her mother-in-law, her in-laws, her parents, like publicly, like very like telling stories, insulting them, blah, 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 blah,
That's
blah.
not cool.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, cool. Like you don't get along with your in-laws, but like why do you have to trash talk them on social media? So I'm like, would that maybe have contributed to your, like I understand you're not marrying the family, but there's still like a certain, I guess, level of respect. Not respect, but even just dignity, right? Like they deserve some sort of respect and dignity to not be like bashed on social media, or like, I feel like maybe the husband might have thought like, okay, well, you know, you're just publicly bashing my parents online on social media and they're getting hate and stuff like that now, like might have caused him not to want to be with her. So I know we hear this a lot that you are also marrying into the family, but like how important do you think it is that you also like the family? Like what if you love the guy and you hate the family? Like do you still marry him?
Yeah, 100%. I totally get it. But I think you can't tell the guy you hate the family.
Yeah.
Like, it's his family at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You can't go in with the perspective that I hate your family. You have to tolerate them. I think we all tolerate family. No one's family is freaking perfect. Nobody's family's got drama-free things.
Yeah.
Everyone's family has bullshit, and we tolerate it because we enjoy being around people we love.
Yeah.
But I think you'd have to also understand that and learn boundaries.
Yeah.
You have to meet 50-50 in a relationship. It's literally 50-50 down the middle when you have kids.
And it's compromising and
Yeah,
like willing to
sacrificing.
compromising. And that's what it is. Like arranged marriages can work if two people are willing to understand that we're different and you're going to have your differences and I'm slowly going to learn in time about your differences and you might not know some things about me and you might learn in time, but as long as it's not going to cause us to kind of have like so many issues. Or, you know, just not like be willing to accept each other.
Yes, I agree 100%. So ready for this? I have a story.
What?
Okay, so here's an arranged marriage in the modern day fail.
Okay.
So I'm not going to say names. I'm not going to say how I know this person, but there's a story. So this girl is pretty and she is a professional.
Professional sounds like a stripper.
No. Her parents are trying to get her rishta. The one family says no. So then the second family says yes. And, you know, her and this guy talk for a few months. And they're like, okay, yeah, let's make this happen. Let's get married. They decide to get married and have an arranged marriage, basically, because they only talked a couple of times. Okay? She moves to a city. 3 days after, her parents are calling the other family from the first rishta that was said no.
Yeah.
And was like, can you please pick up my daughter because I don't live there.
Yeah.
And there's trouble in her marriage. Third day after marriage.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay. So they go pick her up. This is like a 7-8 hour car drive.
Yeah.
She comes back and she's pissed.
Yeah.
She's not even heartbroken, crying, upset, nothing.
Yeah.
She tells this family that I think he's gay.
Oh, true?
Okay. But you talked to him for months.
Yeah.
How did you not pick up on that?
Yo, I don't know. Remember how we have so many couples that we
I
date?
know.
Yeah.
But
And you know, in our Indian community, it's like denial.
it is denial.
Yeah.
Okay, but then if you found out now this is someone you were arranged to, fine, but you were in love with them because you talked to them for months, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna marry you, I love you, blah blah blah. Would you be pissed out seeking revenge, or would you be upset and emotional and distraught?
Probably emotional and distressed.
That's what we don't understand.
Yeah.
Like, why are you so, like, she's fine?
That's kind of weird. So maybe there's more to the story.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But do you see the fuckery that happens?
Yeah, 100%.
That's the other problem.
Yeah.
You got girls out here playing games. You got boys out here playing games.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
A lot of girls out here be playing games. Honestly,
Yeah.
girls.
Men, we give you a bad mouth when it comes to marriage, but there's just as much women out there doing it too.
Yeah, 100%. And yeah, like especially, you know, if a girl is coming and moving in with a guy and stuff like that, you know, with his parents and stuff like that, there is a lot of compromising. And, you know, a lot of the times there is like that evil daughter-in-law that's like, you know, secretly doing evil shit. You know, like all those Indian dramas and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Some of that shit's real.
Dishoom.
Like some of that shit is reality. But, you know, overall, like I do think arrange... And the word arranged to me, like I said, it's a very loose term. You know what? Did you ever know somebody who like got forced to like go back home and get married?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Like in an arranged marriage?
Yeah.
But is it because they
not
fucked up
desi.
here? Yo, I don't know about you, but like growing up here, I feel like it was a constant fear to some people where the parents would be like, I'm gonna take you back to India and get you married and shit.
But why would you get on the plane?
I wouldn't. But did you watch that movie with Katrina Kaif and Akshay Kumar where her parents like tricked her to go back to India and then
Walked.
she had to marry him?
Walked.
No, it was called
Mr.
Hello
C.
London.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
something, I don't know, something like that. And then, she was forced to marry him. So, like, honestly, growing up, I'd be like, yo, shit, if I really fuck up or something, or if my parents find out I'm with a guy,
But
like, they're
that
just
has
gonna take
happened
me back. Yeah, it has. I
in
knew
other
this.
cultures.
Oh yeah, I knew this girl. I think her parents took her back to like Afghanistan or something.
Yeah,
And they
that's the
married her to
culture
this
I'm
like
talking
guy who would like rape her and stuff like that. And he used to like beat her. And then she like literally had to escape back to this country. And I don't know, years later now she's with somebody, she's happy. But the fact that like her parents forced her to get this arranged marriage that literally traumatized her and put her in like so much of a worse position that she was in. But there are psychopath parents like that. I knew this other girl in high school, and she used to wear a hijab, and basically she was like a low key slut. So she used to like come to school and take off her job and wear like no, another girl. And she used to like go to school and basically like wear crop tops and like change like her outfits and stuff like that. Basically, her parents found out, and she just like was gone.
Disappeared, right?
She was gone.
Yo, I've heard so many stories like that.
I was
so
like,
many
everyone
stories.
just said that they took her back home, and I was like, oh shit.
It's pretty fucked up.
That's pretty fucked up, and they're taking them back home to do an arranged marriage, and those kind of things I am not
And
for.
I'm
I don't
pretty
think
sure
those are
there's
right.
dowry involved.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm not for any of those types of arranged marriages.
No.
Just the ones that like come
Forceful.
with love.
Yeah, we're talking about the consent ones.
Yeah.
Full consent from both couples.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, if you're considering arranged marriage, we really hope this helped you decide.
Or it didn't. Or it didn't. But it's one of the things that's very common in our brown culture, and I do think there's a lot of stigma around it as well. When it comes to like other cultures, you'll hear like other communities and be like, oh well, isn't like arranged marriage very common, or was it arranged or something like that? And I'm just like, fucking relax. It's not what you think in your head,
Yeah.
Because I do think to other communities, the way they see arranged marriage is like you were forced to do it and you had no choice and blah blah blah. And we understand that like in other communities this is not the norm. You're normally like in other communities, parents do not help their children find their lover.
But I think this is what helps set the pretense.
Yeah, 100%.
For a successful relationship.
Yeah.
Look at our parents.
Yeah, 100%.
They did well.
They did well. I mean,
So there's some truth to it.
And there's so many in our community, right? That I would see, like, if we looked at the number of people that did get arranged marriage and got separated, I would still think that there are more people that are together than not.
Totally.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, let us know your thoughts if you're for or against arranged marriage. It's still gonna I feel like it's still gonna be something that's very common in our community and going to, continue to still happen, but just like in a modern way. But yeah, if you have any comments or suggestions, you can email us at at Raman and Alysha at gmail.com. And if you're not already following us on social media, you can follow us at Level Up with Raman and Alysha.
Bye, friends.
Bye.